Hi, my name's Andrea, and I'm going to share with you today my week 1 to 8 journey through concepts and narratives at Swinburne University. In week 1, we started with drawing for designers, which brought up a lot of issues and internal dialogue for me. Was I going to be good enough? How was this going to be seen by my peers? When we got down to work, we had to do some sketches for some famous designers, of which I was drawn to August Rodin. You can see by my picture on the right-hand side there, that was his self-portrait, which I loved getting the light and shade. In addition to these sketches, we also had to do objects, of which I have just put up some samples of an apple that I used, using charcoal, fine liner, and my 6B pencil. On to week 2, we looked at rendering and tracing. We did a letter as well as a collage image that we put onto the light box. I found this quite challenging and exhausting. It took so many hours. I would hate to have made a mistake and had to have started again, but I really loved the detail that we ended up producing. It was fantastic. Week 3, we moved into model making, which was right up my alley. I loved it. I loved spending the time cutting out all the little pieces perfectly, laying them all out, and then putting the actual model together, which took a lot of time to stick each piece on to get it to stay perfectly. I really enjoyed this and I was really happy with my result here. Moving from week 3 to week 4, I went from my comfort zone to out of my comfort zone very quickly. I had a brand new DSLR camera and I've never used it before. My one big weakness is photos, and I struggled. I was struggling not so much with the actual making the communication pieces through collage, but to actually capture it with the camera. I had blurry photos, my light was all out, so I really had to go back and do a lot of research on how to use the camera properly, because I could very quickly see that this was going to be an issue further down the track as well. Week 5, we moved into cropping and framing, which I absolutely loved. This was able to capture visually some amazing detail in very small images. I had my camera sorted, got the lighting sorted, had my tripod organised, and was really happy with the results. Week 6 was mark making and a real journey of self-discovery for me. Reconnecting to my circles, my passion and love for painting of circles. This was pretty amazing, going through the process of mind mapping, word associations, looking at what inspires me to be me. This was really quite empowering and a journey of self-discovery for me. Week 7 and 8 was anti-design conceptualisation. This was the process of coming up with 50 ideas of anti-design, which was really challenging. My final anti-design was the coffee table ring, inspired by a friend of mine who used to put her coffee cup on top of my ring whilst we were out. I really enjoyed making this design and then eventually creating it into an advertisement to pitch the idea to my target market, who would actually potentially buy the product. The interesting part about this process was I then went back to the very start and utilised my drawing, my mind mapping, my model making with this process. We incorporated all of the things we'd learnt from start to finish, and then put that together to make the anti-design. I think that moving forward, I have developed a really great skill set to be able to make a design and create a design from conceptualization much faster than I would have previously.